our January meditation, I've been playing around with this concept of time as a flat circle or these repeatable loops, because this is what's helped me a lot this year. And I started thinking about this when I interviewed Tim Morita. He has that tent school in his driveway. And he said, this is nothing new. During the flu pandemic 100 years ago, they set up tent schools, and that's how they taught the kids, right? So I started thinking about how these are things we've been through before, and how even now I'm noticing things that bothered me in my 20s, I'm more chill about now, right? So as we get older, we're like, I've seen this. I know how this is going to go, right? So you think about how a toddler gets mad about the tiniest little thing. Everything to this poor toddler is new information, right? Their brain is just being overloaded with new stuff. So the more stuff we experience, the more we can have this sense of calm, is what I'm thinking about all of this. So here's what I'm going to read to you today. I found this passage from the Old Testament, of all things. The thing hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. And to me, this was kind of like the phrase, there's nothing new in art, right? How fashion cycles, architecture styles, like different things that we see repeat throughout the years. Then I might butcher this name, Marcus Aurelius. He said, whatever happens has always happened and always will, and is happening at this very moment everywhere, just like this. So this could sound depressing, right? Are we caught in this loop of just repeating the same behavior? Or this could sound like, okay, this is a pattern I can recognize. For me, in relationships, I can't remember if it's Gottman that I read, that he said, we tend to fight with our partner, our spouse, over the same three things. Oh, for the length of your relationship, there's going to be this thing that just keeps coming up. So that if we do have a little argument or a tip, I think, that's that thing. It's not the end of the world. We'll sort this out, and it might come up again. So, okay, just to expect this. Okay, so my question to you is, if today or this week or the month is going to be this thing that for you repeats over and over. Let's say one of my favorite movies, Groundhog Day, Bill Murray, right? He woke up to the same thing every day. And the story arc goes from him being angry about it and frustrated, and then, he's eating donuts for breakfast and chain smoking. Then he comes around and starts learning new things. Then he ends up becoming the best version of himself. He's like, all right, if this is the day I'm going to repeat, I better make the most of it. So this is what I take from these kinds of concepts are there little things that I could tweak that would adjust my view of the world, or adjust my brain a little? Okay, let's play around with our loop breathing. So get in a nice comfy position, and that might be sitting or laying. You could prop up your legs, you could prop up your head, whatever feels like a nice supported position that you can be in, say, for the next 15, 20 minutes. And just take a big deep breath. And this might not be any specific type of breath, just whatever your natural breathing pattern is. And just start to notice your breath coming and going. And you might even say to yourself, breathing in and breathing out. And sometimes just the act of noticing your breath, by paying attention to it, your breath might change, it might deepen or slow down. And start to follow your breath as it goes from your nose or mouth into your lungs, Notice where there is movement in your torso. Do your ribs move? Maybe your shoulders move. Maybe your belly softens with each breath. And then let's play with starting to connect your breath, meaning my next inhale, I'm going to follow my inhale until the end. And right when it ends, I'm going to start my next exhale. So there's not going to be a pause between them. I'm going to follow that exhale. When it ends, I'm starting my next inhale. So there's no pause between my exhale and my inhale. And we'll practice this loop or continuous breath. Inhaling, connecting your exhale, and connecting your inhale. And then notice if your breath has changed at all from when we first started, just by focusing on this connected or looped breath, connecting your inhale and exhale. And if at any point this feels overwhelming or like you need to take a break, just let it go and go back to your normal breathing. And then do let go of your breath for a moment. Come back to whatever your normal or natural breath pattern is. And let's explore this idea of a repeated loop or a repeated cycle. So if we are meant to repeat things in our lives, whether deja vu or whatever you believe in, could you make adjustments to these patterns or these things that you repeat? So we could have a whole discussion of like how much of our life is under our control. That's a whole topic for another day. But if today were the day that you were going to repeat over and over, let your mind wander for a moment. And we're not looking for right or wrong or good or bad or what I think I should be doing, but if today was a day that was going to happen repeatedly for you, just let your mind think real loose about how your day would start. Would you sleep in? Would you get up and go for a run? Who would you talk to? What would you eat? What would you read? And just let your mind be really open about how this day would go. If this was going to be the day that you were going to repeat over and over, would your day be really busy and packed with stuff? Would you have a lot of space or a lot of time to just sit and stare out the window? And if you catch yourself thinking, oh, that's not right, that's not what I should be doing, see if you can let that go and just be real loose and open about what your day would be like, this repeatable cycle. What time would you go to bed? Would you stay up late? And then for just a moment, you can let go of your day and come right back to that loop breathing. So all you have to think about now is following your breath in and out, connecting your inhale and your exhale. And you can let other thoughts come and go. They might just be floating around in the background as you focus on your breath. And see if you can once again connect your inhale to your exhale to your inhale. And then you can let go of your breath. And let's come back to that idea of a day on repeat. This time, just think about who you would spend your time with. Does anybody pop into your mind? And that could be a person, a close friend or relative. It could be an animal. Yep. And it could be somebody that's no longer with us. This is your imagination. It could be someone you've never met. So if you were given the gift to repeat this day over and over, who would you spend time with? And then once again, you can let any thoughts or emotions swirl around in the background. They can still be there, but that's not going to be our focus for the next minute or two. We'll focus back on our breath. So if that loop breath makes sense or if that feels good, go back to that continuous breath or loop breath. If that's not resonating with you, you can just notice your breath coming and going. Maybe saying to yourself, breathing in and breathing out. Focusing on your breath, noticing it as if you were an outside observer, curious about you. And then we'll play with this one last time. You can let go of your breath for a moment. Come back to your repeat day, for lack of a better word. If this were the day that you were going to repeat over and over, how would you move your body? And let your mind be really loose about this. It could be just a picture in your head. It could be words. It could be that you're thinking of a movement schedule, blocks of time. It could just be an idea. If this were the day that you were to repeat, how and when would you move your body? Would you be mostly sedentary with one chunk of movement like a walk or a workout? Would you sprinkle movement throughout your day? Would you snuggle on the couch and watch movies? That's an option. And so let this be real loose. Just let your mind wander about how and when you would move your body on your repeat day. Maybe what things would make your body feel really good. And you can let go of that idea. Come right back to your breath. We'll have one last minute of focused breathing, however that makes sense to you. Could be watching your breath coming and going. Could be creating that breathing loop, connecting your inhale to your exhale. And then you can let go of your breathing. And when you're ready to bring your awareness back to your physical body, back to the room, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You could open your eyes, yawn, maybe stretch, look around the room. And if anything popped into your head that you want to jot a little note or draw a little picture, it could be something that came out of this meditation that it's something that you might implement going forward. Some small changes you might make.